Homebrew Wednesday. It's Brad here at Wild Boys Brewery. Hope you're having a good week. Just a quick update this week. Just going to touch on my sours a little bit and where they're at and what I've done with them. How they're progressing since I racked the Belgian and so forth. And then I've also got a sample of my Sculping IPA here. And this is my Sculping clone. It's basically a it's like Sculping on steroids, if you can believe that. The main difference between mine and the original recipe was I used English malt. I used the Pearl Fawcett malt, and instead of using the Cali Ale, I used the Conan strain, and threw off a lot of peach and apricot on top of it from what it already had. That was a nice addition to the profile, adding to the hops. The yeast character was amped it up a notch. You can see it's got good glass lacing. Of course, it's not filtered, so it is hazy. Looks almost like more like a heady topper instead of a Sculping, but it tastes like a Sculping. Just got a bigger dry hop on it. And as far as the other updates go, we'll step back here into the brewery, or should I say the brew room. If you're on my Facebook page, you've seen I got a new keg. You can't really see it too good in this light, but it's blue bottom, or blue top rather. So I got two empties now. The Yarilo IPA is going into its second week, so it's just kind of sitting there. That's the Blackberry Saison leftovers, about 3 gallons of that. I need to rack the Wicked Weed, Oblivion, Crooked Stave, St. Brett of Wild Beer Stout, 3 gallons on top of that. So what I plan on doing is racking 2 gallons on top of it, and then putting 2 gallons back in that carboy and restarting that one. The Belgian Dark Strong Ale has already got a pellicle on top of it again, so it's kicking along. It was 1075 OG on 12/2/14. Then when I racked it on 2/17/15, it was 1010. And then it got racked on top of Russian River Consecration dregs, which were started on 10/12/14, and then some Cascade Elderberry dregs, which were started on 12/2/14, and they were pitched on 2/17/15. It put a pellicle on almost immediately, which was pretty cool. Back there in the corner is the Roselaire Blonde. I'm just letting it sit and sour. It's 7/25/14 when it started, and then when I did my Yarilo brew day, I collected some extra wort and boiled it with no hops, and then pitched it back on top of the Russian River dregs in the 1 gallon there. So it was restarted on 2/23/15, and then the Cascade Elderberry dregs were restarted again on the same day, and it's unhopped all grain wort, and it measured it before I pitched, and it's 1040. So that is the update, and then of course I still got the Russian River Supplication dregs, and I pitched some Orville dregs in those as well. The Russian River Supplication's been going since 10/12/14, and then I added the Orville 12/13/14. So if you're going to do sours, you got to keep good notes on them so you know what you got going on. If you're going to do sours, you got to keep good notes on it, because if you're like me, you're going to definitely forget it. I always write everything down on all my beers. Something SJ touched on last week or week before that, it's about keeping good notes, and I even commented on his video. I started to brew log just as soon as I started brewing, and you got to write everything down you do. In conjunction with that, if you do forget something, if you do good video updates, then they're going to be on that. You can always go back through your videos and look at your stuff, and if you forgot to write something down, you can generally figure out what information you're looking for from your videos. But you're better off writing it down to begin with, so because you ain't always going to remember to talk about it on your videos. But it is a good kind of a good secondary backup. But that's going to wrap it up. Hope you're having a good week. I will see you guys soon. Happy Homebrew Wednesday. Cheers.